All right, guys. The attendance tonight was 17,907, sold out. Highest attended UFC event in UK history. The gate was 6.72 million, arena gate record. The bonuses are 100,000 for parking. Aspinall gets 100, and Patty gets 200.
Nice.
Congratulations to all of them.
Dana, good morning.
Good morning.
Belal Muhammad's new welterweight champion. Curious your thoughts on the main event, on his performance and Leon Edwards' performance.
Wasn't a barn burner.
Yeah. Do you think maybe Leon kind of, to me, looked a little bit lethargic? Maybe the time was hurting him a bit more than Belal. Do you think that was a factor? Or do you think Bilal's pressure was just too much for him to overcome?
I have no clue. You know, you're going to have to ask Leon how he felt and what was going on. And, you know, Belal, I know Bilal's been training with Habib, so his performance was, what you would expect.
You know, in the past, we've seen these dominant champions get an instant rematch. Do you think that might be the case here, or do you think it's better to just have Leon rest a little bit? And
yeah, let him rest. But we're talking about other things right now.
Okay. Tom Aspinall, 1 minute, got him out of there. I mean, kind of different from the main event, right? Just came in there and blew him off. Do you think that John Jones fight is getting bigger and bigger?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, there's no doubt. Whoever wins the fight between John Jones and Stipe is a great fight for Aspinall.
Have you spoke to either of those two about that? Because I know both of them have said maybe this is their last one. Have you spoke to either of them to get their temperature?
It doesn't even matter. Whatever's going to happen when they fight is going to happen, and we'll go from there. But as fans, we can all say, ooh, that's a fun fight, no matter who wins.
Speaking of John Jones, the 12-6 elbow rule has been overturned, and there's some talk about he wanted his loss to Matt Hamill overturned. Is that something you could even look into, and is that something you would like to see?
I've been trying to do that since it happened.
So, yeah.
I think I wanted it more than he did. So it hasn't worked out too well, though. But, yeah, I've been fighting for that for a long time. You had an incompetent referee, a guy who we can all agree now, maybe I sounded like, an asshole back in the day, but now we can all look back and 100% say that a guy that was completely incompetent at a time when the Nevada State Athletic Commission was at its weakest, the guy who was running it was a zero. Mazzagatti should have never been in there, and the list goes on and on. And that thing should have been and should be overturned, and I've been fighting for it for years.
All right. Two more quick ones outside of tonight. Every time you get on a press conference, the fighters manage to get you to up the bonuses. Do you think there's an argument that maybe you should just up them?
I think tonight showed that we should not, no. Oh. Upping them doesn't change anything. It doesn't make anybody fight any harder. It doesn't change anything. I'm not doing this again.
Ever?
Ever. Today was the last day that I'm doing that, yeah. Not saying that in the future the bonuses couldn't get up, but I'm not going to be at a press conference and say 200, 300, fucking never again. Never again. So you can thank everybody on this card for that.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Nobody fought any harder. There was no sense of urgency. Holy the 100,000. 7 straight. Who gives a f? It's 7 o'clock in Vegas. So whatever. Yeah. Never again.
Okay. And
7 straight decisions. Yeah. The 100,000 was a real big woohoo. Let's get it, boys. Never again.
Okay. And last one for me. The Sphere card was announced. I know you're not scared of competition, but the T-Mobile is running a Canelo fight that night. I mean, it's Mexican Independence Day. Is that something you expected them to do? And who wins that night, right? Is your Sphere show going to blow them out of the water? Do you think it's going to divide the crowd? What are you expecting from them?
Yeah, I didn't know what they were going to do, to be honest with you, but it's Mexican Independence Day. So you had to assume there were probably going to be some Mexicans fighting other than our Mexicans that night. So like I said yesterday, I said it is what it is. Here we go.
Dana,
see how it plays out.
Right next to him. I know you gave him the bonus, but what did you make of Patty's performance? And on the flip side, what did you make of Bobby or King Green now, shooting for that takedown, knowing that Patty is such a high-level black belt?
I don't think that, when you're in a fight like that and you get into a scramble and just happens in the moment, and I'm sure that's what happened to Bobby. I'm sure he wasn't thinking, oh man, I better stay off the ground. And you know, Bob King has done a great job, you know, anywhere a fight goes, and he's looked great lately, and you know, I'm sure he wasn't concerned or wasn't thinking at the time, and he got caught. I mean, listen, Paddy's one of those guys that everybody talks about, and everybody wants to fight him, and everybody wants to call him out, and he keeps winning. And he looked damn good tonight. That's why he got the $200,000. I mean, I don't think Bobby Green has been submitted since like 2009. So, yeah, congrats to him. That's the guy that came out tonight and looked like he wanted an extra $100,000.
And is Paddy a guy that you're going to try to keep in this region? Because he's fought in Vegas, but when he fights here and he gets that entrance and just the reception from the crowd, it just feels like he's on another level of superstardom.
Yeah, listen, everything here is that level as long as you don't go to 7 straight decisions. I mean, you do anything here, and we open the show and they're singing songs. It's just, England's different, man. England is different. And when you come out and you put on an event and you perform, you feel it here.
And what did you make of the Makhachev and Manel Kopp drama? Like, you know, they had that run-in at the PI, they had that run-in at the hotel.
There was so much bad that happened in the behind the scenes with that thing, and yeah, not good.
Makhachev said that his contract is up, and he made this interesting remark that said someone at the UFC told him to stop shooting for these takedowns so much, and maybe he'll get this contract that he wants. Is that true, and do you think you'll bring him back?
Yeah, that's what we tell guys. We tell guys how to fight and tell them we've been doing this for a long fucking time. I'm sure one of the matchmakers probably said something to him or whatever, but yeah, the matchmakers aren't big fans of his for many different reasons, and not just There's a lot of people who shoot takedowns in this business. You know, a lot of guys that fight with that type of style, but it's a lot more than just that.
But Makhachev is the guy that you'd want to bring back to the UFC because he said his contract is totally done now.
Yeah, he is. He's under contract. He's not under contract anymore.
Okay, but would you be interested in, you know, keeping him around in the fall?
I think the PFL is going to get a great undefeated guy.
Really?
Good luck to him. Yeah.
What about Manel? Because we saw even before the fight even started, he was trying to run it. Makhachev, the security had to get in there before the first bell even rang.
Yeah, because just so much dumb is happening. I mean, we couldn't even have a face-off. But it's it was one of those typical kind of fights. We've all seen this before over the years. Oh, I can't wait to get to you. I can't wait to get to you. Oh, I'm going to kill you. And then 5 minutes and they don't do anything for the first 5 minutes of the fight. I mean, it's just, we kind of figured that's how that fight would go. It's, you know, historically, that's how they go.
And last one on this, when you said the PFL is going to get an undefeated fighter, is that his fighting style? Is that he's asking for too much money? Why?
None of the above. Listen, for whatever reason, listen, the stuff that played out here over the last several months, that started at the PI and other stories of this breaking out, plus many other things. These guys don't want to re-sign him.
And then last one for me, unrelated to this fight, Ilya Taporia tweeted that something along the lines of, like, looks like the UFC is forcing him to take the fight. Obviously, we're assuming it's Max Holloway. Is there any update on that fight and when it could be?
That we're doing what?
Ilya tweeted something along the lines of, it looks like the UFC is finally forcing him to take the fight, and we all assume he's referring to Max Holloway. Is there any update on that fight?
I don't think you ever have to force Max Holloway to fight.
What Volkanovski said.
Yeah, that's funny.